How you doing? Friends, family, Facebook, and YouTube. Today, I have another lesson for you entitled, Who are the Last Days Disciples? Who are the Last Days Disciples? But before we begin, I ask that the Most High Ahaya bless this lesson today. Also his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, built the Ruach HaKodesh today. Alright? Now, let's begin with our precept today. We're going to begin in Isaiah chapter 28, verses 9 through 11. Starting at verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Alright? Our next precept is going to be in Psalms 119, 104. Psalms 119, 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. We're going to drop down to verse 128. Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way. Let's drop down again to verse 134. 134. Deliver me from the oppression of man, so will I keep thy precepts. Alright? Now, let's go into the Book of Mormon. Doctrines and Covenants, pearl of great price. Alright? Let's get some more precepts out of there. We're going to go to 2 Nephi chapter 28 verses 30. For behold, thus saith the Lord God, I will give unto the children of men line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little. And blessed are those who hearken unto my precepts, and lend an ear unto my counsel, for they shall learn wisdom. For unto him that receiveth I will give more, and from them thou shalt say, We have enough, from them shall be taken away even that which they have. Alright? So, if you don't want no more Bible, the Most High is going to take away your knowledge. Alright? Let's go to Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 42, verses 12. And again, the elders, priests, and teachers of this church shall teach the principles of my gospel, which are in the Bible and the Book of Mormon, in the which is the fullness of the gospel. So, the fullness of the gospel is having the Bible and the Book of Mormon, the first stick and the second stick. Alright? Let's go over to Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 42, verses 61. If thou shalt ask, thou shalt receive revelation upon revelation, knowledge upon knowledge, that thou mayest know the mysteries and peaceable things, that which bringeth joy, that which bringeth life eternal. Alright? And I believe we have one more precept here. Let's go to Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 98, verses 12. For he will give unto the faithful line upon line, precept upon precept, and I will try you and prove you herewith. Alright? So again, when we read our Bible, line upon line, the Most High gives us revelation upon revelation. When we read our Bible, precept upon precept, the Most High gives us knowledge upon knowledge. Alright? Now, my last lesson was the Church of Christ. Okay, we were in Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 1, verses 1. Now, we're back in Doctrines and Covenants, verses 1, Salakia, chapter 1, and we're going to read verses 1 through 7. I'm going to break that down, okay? And today, we're going to find out who are the last days disciples. The last days disciples, okay? So let's go into Doctrines and Covenants. Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 1. Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 1. Hearken, O ye people of my church. Hearken, O ye people of my church. My church. That church will be the church of Christ, okay? So let's go ahead and get a precept for that. Let's go to Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 20, verses 1. Verse 1. The rise of the church of Christ in these last days. The rise of the church of Christ in these last days. Alright? So in the last days, the children of Israel needs to start in church and call that church the Church of Christ in the last days. Okay? Let's go back to Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 1, verses 1. Hearken, O ye people of my church, Church of Christ, saith the voice of him who dwells on high, and whose eyes are upon all men. Yea, verily I say, hearken ye people from afar, and ye that are upon the islands of the sea, listen together. Listen together. Hearken ye people from afar, and ye that are upon the islands of the sea. Listen together. Listen together. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 49, verses 1 and 3. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken ye people from far. The Lord hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. Verses 3. And said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel. Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. So the Most High is saying, listen, listen, Israel. Listen, Israel. Open your ears. Open your ears, Israel. Okay? Let's get back into Doctrines and Covenants. Alright? The Most High right now is talking to the children of Israel. Verse 2. For verily the voice of the Lord is upon all men, and there is none to escape, and there is no eye that shall not see, neither ear that shall not hear, neither heart that shall not be penetrated. Verse 3. And the rebellious shall be pierced with much sorrow, for their iniquities shall be spoken upon the housetops, and their secret acts shall be revealed. Verses 4. And the voice of the warning shall be upon all people, by the mouths of my disciples, by the mouths of my disciples, when I have chosen, whom I have chosen in the last days. Whom I have chosen in the last days. So the Most High is letting us know that He has chosen some disciples in the last days. Okay? Let's go to verse 5. And they shall go forth, and none shall stay them, for I the Lord have commanded them. Behold, this is mine authority, and the authority of my servants. The authority of my servants. Now, we're going to precept this with the Bible. We're going to find out today, right now, who are the disciples in the last days. We're going to go to Revelations chapter 7. And we are going to read verses 3 through 8. Revelations chapter 7, verses 3 through 8. Saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God, till we have sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, of the tribe of Judah. Who? Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Nephthalim were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph, it's my tribe right there, were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. Like I said, the title of today's message is, who are the disciples in the last days? Who are they? Well, today they are the 144,000. The 144,000. 12,000 from each tribe of the house of Israel. That's who they are. That's who they are. Let's go to Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 42, verses 12. Okay? 144,000. They got an instruction from the Most High. Okay? They have to teach. They have to teach a gospel. And this gospel is in Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 42, verses 12. Let's read it. It's one of our precepts. And again, the elders, priests, and teachers of this church shall teach the principles of my gospel, which are in the Bible, and the Book of Mormon, in the which is the fullness of the gospel. 144. Preach the fullness of the gospel. Preach the fullness of the gospel. The first stick, Judah. The first stick, Judah. The second stick, the Book of Mormon, Doctrines and Covenants, pearl of great price. Preach the fullness of the gospel, Israel, Church of Christ. I thank you. Hopefully, this message today was edifying for you. Now that we know who the disciples are in the last days, which are the 144,000 of the house of Israel. All right? Stick of Joseph in the hand of Ephraim. The Book of Mormon, the same book. You see Alma in the Book of Mormon. This is Alma. This is Alma. This is Alma. The Book of Mormon. This is Nephi. This is Nephi. Okay? Book of Mormon. Let's get it right. Book of Mormon. same book, okay? In this book, his name is called Nephi. Nephi, okay? It's the same book, okay? The same book. The first stick is the Bible. The first stick, the southern tribe of Israel, is the Bible. The second stick is the northern tribe of Israel. The northern tribe of Israel. Okay? Now, like I said, the 144,000 is going to teach the fullness of the gospel. And they're going to have the Bible, the first stick, and the Book of Mormon, the second stick. This is how you're going to identify the 144,000. I come from the tribe of Joseph, okay? And I'm teaching the fullness of the gospel. The fullness of the gospel. Alright? 144, rise up. You know who you are. Rise up. Preach the fullness of the gospel. Preach it, teach it. Let the world know who you are. I ain't scared. Let them know who you are. I'm Ivan from the tribe of Joseph. Teaching both sticks, the fullness of the gospel. Alright? It's late. It's 12:02 a.m. in the morning.